There are moments in life when a single realization changes everything. And today, I want to share something that can transform the way your home feels, breathes, and influences your inner peace. Imagine stepping into a house so aligned, so beautiful, and so harmonious that simply crossing the doorway feels like taking a deep, calming breath. This is not decoration, and it is not luxury. It is the quiet Japanese mastery of creating beauty through intention, small rituals, and simple habits that slowly turn a home into a sanctuary. And once you begin, the transformation is impossible to ignore. Before we continue, I'd like to ask you something. Tell me which country and city you're watching from. I'd love to know and leave you a heart. And don't forget to subscribe and help me reach the goal of 1,000 likes. Today, we begin with the first Japanese secret to keep your home beautiful and harmonious, creating a foundation of order that silently supports your inner balance. In Japanese culture, the process of keeping a home in harmony begins long before cleaning or decorating. It starts in the mind. The way you choose what stays in your home shapes the energy you live with every day. When your home is filled with things you no longer use, no longer love, or no longer need, these objects begin to pull your attention and drain your calm. Japanese women often say that a harmonious home is not one full of items, but one full of intention. This brings us to the first powerful habit, choosing what deserves to stay. Instead of decluttering once a year, they practice small daily micro-selections. A drawer that sticks, a shelf that feels crowded, or a corner that gathers dust becomes a quiet invitation to ask, do I really need this? Does this object support the life I want to live? This is not about minimalism as an aesthetic, but as a relationship with your environment. And when you adopt this mindset, something powerful happens. The home starts feeling lighter, the visual noise disappears, and the energies begin to flow again. The second secret begins to appear naturally. Beauty in simplicity. Japanese harmony is built through elements that breathe. Open spaces, clean lines, natural textures, and soft colors help the mind relax. You don't need to buy anything new to achieve this. Sometimes, removing just one object is enough to reveal clarity. Think of your living room. If there is one corner that feels heavy, ask yourself which item is stealing space. When you remove the excess, what remains becomes more meaningful. And as beauty becomes intentional, order becomes effortless. The third subtle Japanese secret is the habit of placement, the art of returning every object to its precise spot. When everything has a home, your house feels like a well-composed melody instead of scattered notes. This reduces stress, shortens cleaning time, and creates a visual harmony that soothes you the moment you enter a room. You'll notice that these first three secrets are connected. Intention, simplicity, and placement form the invisible foundation of a beautiful home. But the next secret goes deeper and is one most people ignore, even though it has the power to change the emotional temperature of your home almost instantly, and that is the Japanese habit of seasonal reset. Once you understand it, the way you organize your space will never be the same again. In Japan, the home is treated like a living organism, constantly shifting with the seasons, the light, and the rhythm of daily life. This understanding leads to one of the most powerful secrets for keeping a home beautiful and harmonious: the seasonal reset. While many people around the world only declutter during spring cleaning, Japanese households adjust the home every time the season changes. This practice is not about big renovations or expensive changes. It is about refreshing the atmosphere so the home remains alive instead of stagnant. In early spring, lighter fabrics replace heavier ones. In summer, airy spaces and a sense of freedom are encouraged. In autumn, textures become warmer. And in winter, the home becomes a cocoon. Observing this quiet ritual teaches you that beauty is not static. Harmony requires movement. By aligning your home with the season, you create a place that feels naturally comfortable instead of fighting with the outside world. And here is where the secret becomes even more valuable. Every seasonal reset is also a chance to reassess your environment. You touch objects, evaluate what still makes sense, and gently release what doesn't. This maintains flow all year long, preventing build-up and preserving the emotional clarity inside your home. But the Japanese do not stop there. Once the seasonal reset sets the tone, the next secret transforms daily living into something much deeper: the practice of mindful transitions. This is a habit that women in Japan use to anchor their homes in calm, even during busy days. A mindful transition is the tiny moment between tasks when you reset the space before moving on. When you finish breakfast, you wash the dishes immediately and wipe the counter. Before relaxing at night, you put away the blanket on the sofa. When you finish getting dressed, you fold or hang what you used. These transitions are so small that they almost feel insignificant, yet they carry enormous power. They prevent visual chaos from forming. They protect the mind from feeling overwhelmed. They turn your home into a place that breathes with you instead of competing with your attention. One of the reasons Japanese homes feel calm is because they never wait for disorder to grow. The transition is the treatment. And when you begin applying this habit, something surprising starts to happen. Your home stops demanding energy from you and starts giving it back. But the Japanese have another layer hidden beneath this practice, one that is rarely talked about outside their culture. It is the emotional relationship with everyday objects. This is the next secret, and it reshapes the way your home feels even if you never buy anything new. In Japan, objects are not disposable by default. A wooden spoon is cared for. A ceramic bowl is handled with gratitude. A cup used every morning becomes part of the rhythm of your life. This quiet appreciation creates a sense of respect and gentleness in the home. When you treat your belongings kindly, you naturally take better care of them. When you care for objects, they last longer and look more beautiful. And when your home is filled with well-cared-for items instead of neglected ones, the entire environment becomes more harmonious. This secret is not about materialism, it is about connection. When you value what you own, you stop seeking new things constantly. You feel more grounded, you feel more at peace, and your home begins to feel like an extension of your inner self instead of just a place you happen to live in. But there is still another Japanese habit that ties all these ideas together, and it is one of the most transformative of all. It is the secret of intentional lighting. Many people don't realize how deeply lighting affects mood, harmony, and beauty. In Japanese homes, lighting is never harsh, overwhelming, or chaotic. Instead, it is soft, warm, and layered. One gentle lamp near the floor, a warm glow near the entryway, a soft envelope of light in the living room instead of a single bright ceiling lamp. This creates shadows that soothe rather than agitate, and it makes the home feel naturally balanced. When you adopt this principle, even without changing your furniture, your home immediately becomes more peaceful. Light becomes a companion instead of a spotlight. It guides the eyes, shapes the atmosphere, and invites calm at the end of a long day. You start to feel like your home is holding you instead of merely surrounding you. But Japanese harmony goes even further, and the next secret reveals something that most people feel but can't name: the hidden energy created by sound, scent, and movement. Once you understand this, your home's harmony deepens in a way you may never have imagined. Every home carries an invisible atmosphere made of subtle elements that most people overlook. Yet these elements decide whether a space feels peaceful or overwhelming the moment you walk in. Japanese households pay close attention to this invisible layer through the harmony of sound, scent, and movement. This is the fifth Japanese secret, and it has the power to shift the emotional temperature of your home instantly. First, sound. In many homes, chronic noise hides in the background. Humming appliances, unchecked notifications, loud television, or even clutter that creates constant visual noise. In Japanese minimalism, sound is curated just like decor. A quiet home supports a quiet mind, so the Japanese intentionally choose calm soundscapes. The absence of chaos becomes the first layer of harmony, but they also add gentle, grounding sounds that soothe, the soft bubbling of an electric kettle, the whisper of wind through an open window, the rustle of shoji screens, the rhythmic steps on wooden floors. These sounds are familiar, comforting, and deeply human. They bring the body into the present moment. Once you become aware of the sound environment in your home, you begin to create an atmosphere that nurtures rather than drains you. The second layer is scent. Japanese homes consistently use natural, clean scents rather than synthetic ones. Hinoki wood, green tea, white rice steam, lavender, yuzu, or subtle incense create an environment that feels pure instead of perfumed. The philosophy behind scent is simple. A beautiful home should smell like cleanliness, nature, and serenity. A single, consistent scent becomes part of your home's identity and calms you every time you enter the door. You don't need expensive products. Even boiling water with a slice of lemon or lighting a natural candle can transform how a room feels. The third layer is movement. Japanese homes avoid objects that interrupt flow. When you walk through a room, you should not feel blocked physically or emotionally. This is why hallways stay open, furniture stays simple, and decorations remain minimal. Movement should feel smooth, not interrupted by clutter or unnecessary furniture. This is more than design. It is about how your body feels when it moves through your own space. When movement flows, your thoughts flow. When your steps feel easy, your breathing becomes easier too. But Japanese wisdom doesn't stop at creating atmosphere. There is another secret that directly touches your daily emotional state, the ritual of resetting the entryway. Known as the Genkan, this space represents the emotional threshold between the outer world and your inner world. In Japan, shoes are removed at the entrance not just for cleanliness, but to release the energy of the day before entering the sanctuary of the home. The Genkan is kept simple, clean and welcoming. A single plant, a soft light or a clean mat can make all the difference. By resetting your entryway every day, sweeping it lightly, removing shoes, keeping the area open, you send a clear message to your mind. You have arrived home, and it is safe to exhale. Once you adopt this habit, you begin to feel the shift immediately. You stop carrying outside stress inside your home. You start transitioning into a calmer version of yourself as soon as you cross the threshold. But there is still another Japanese secret that few people outside the culture understand, even though it completely changes the rhythm of the home. The art of closing the day. Closing the day is a ritual that ensures your home never wakes up in chaos. Before bedtime, the Japanese spend a few minutes resetting key areas, folding blankets, clearing the dining table, resetting the counters, and preparing the space for a peaceful morning. It is not deep cleaning, it is gentle restoration. This habit guarantees that the first moment of the next day feels fresh and unburdened. You wake up to clarity rather than chaos, and that alone can change your entire mood. But the Japanese add a final touch to this ritual: gratitude. Even if not spoken aloud, there is a silent appreciation for the home that protected, nourished, and sheltered you throughout the day. This emotional connection builds calm from the inside out. But beyond these rituals lies another powerful Japanese secret that connects harmony with beauty in a profound way. It is the practice of choosing one daily point of beauty, something so small and simple that it surprises you how deeply it affects your mood. Once you discover this, your home becomes a source of joy instead of responsibility. One of the simplest yet most transformative Japanese secrets for keeping a home beautiful and harmonious is the idea of choosing a single point of beauty each day. This practice is subtle, quiet, and deeply nurturing, and it has the power to shift your emotional state even during the busiest seasons of life. In Japan, beauty is not treated as a luxury or an occasional indulgence. It is considered nourishment for the heart. The concept is called Ichinichi Ichika, which means one flower a day, but the meaning goes far beyond flowers. It is the art of introducing one small moment of beauty into your environment daily to remind the mind that life still holds softness, grace, and balance. It could be a single stem in a simple vase, the way you fold a towel neatly, the light hitting the kitchen counter at a certain hour, or arranging fruit in a bowl with intention. These small acts do not seem life-changing, yet they create a subtle, psychological lift. When your eyes land on something beautiful, your breathing changes, your body softens, and the entire home feels more alive. This daily point of beauty is not about decoration, it is about presence. It trains your mind to notice the quiet gifts around you, creating an inner shift that lasts far beyond the moment itself. But this Japanese secret becomes even more powerful when combined with another, the rhythm of slow tasks. In many households, tasks like folding laundry, sweeping the floor, or washing dishes are rushed or avoided. But in Japanese culture, these tasks are opportunities to reconnect with the present moment. The philosophy behind this is simple. When you perform a task slowly, with attention and intention, chaos melts and clarity rises. Folding laundry becomes an act of care. Sweeping becomes a moment of peace. Washing dishes becomes a meditation of movement. And this leads to the next secret, one that dramatically enhances harmony, the practice of microzones. Unlike large organizational systems that require hours or even days, microzones divide your home into tiny, manageable sections that take less than 5 minutes to refresh. One drawer, one shelf, one small corner. Japanese women often choose one microzone per day to maintain, instead of letting mess accumulate into overwhelming projects. Over time, this habit creates a home that is consistently beautiful and never chaotic. But the power of microzones is not only practical, it reconnects you with your environment, one small area at a time. It gives you a sense of progress, accomplishment, and clarity. The next Japanese secret builds on this sense of progress, the principle of subtraction. Instead of asking what you should add to your home to make it more beautiful, the Japanese ask what can be removed to reveal beauty that is already there. This principle is seen everywhere in Japanese design. A single empty space is often more expressive than a shelf filled with objects. A quiet wall can feel more peaceful than a busy one. Removing one item often brings more harmony than adding 10. When you apply the principle of subtraction, your home begins to breathe. Surfaces feel lighter. Energy flows more freely, and beauty emerges naturally without forcing or decorating. But here is the deeper truth behind this principle. When you remove visual clutter from your home, you also remove emotional clutter from your mind. And this leads to one of the strongest Japanese secrets of all, one that influences the entire emotional architecture of your home, the energy of hidden spaces. Most people focus on what is visible, living rooms, kitchens, bedrooms, but Japanese minimalism teaches that harmony comes from the spaces you rarely see, inside drawers, under the bed, behind closet doors. In Japan, these spaces are not ignored. They are treated with the same respect as the visible parts of the home, because stagnant energy in hidden places eventually spreads outward. A messy drawer creates a sense of agitation you may not consciously notice. A cluttered closet carries emotional weight. A disorganized cabinet creates mental friction every time you open it. When you begin caring for hidden spaces, your home becomes lighter from the inside out. The harmony becomes deeper, more stable, and more tangible. But beneath this idea lies another Japanese secret that elevates harmony from physical order to emotional well-being: the practice of purposeful pauses. And once you understand this, your relationship with your home shifts forever. The next Japanese secret has nothing to do with cleaning, organizing, or decorating, yet it is one of the most powerful ways to keep your home beautiful and harmonious: the practice of purposeful pauses. In Japan, life is not meant to be lived in constant acceleration. Moments of stillness are woven deliberately into the day, creating a rhythm that brings balance to the home and stability to the spirit. These pauses are not long or complicated. They may last only a minute, but they function like emotional resets. A pause when you finish making the bed, a pause before starting dinner, a pause after completing a task, allowing your mind to settle before moving to the next one. These small breaks act like stitching that holds the fabric of your day together. Without them, life feels chaotic and rushed. With them, life feels grounded and intentional. When you introduce purposeful pauses into your home, the atmosphere shifts. Suddenly, rooms feel calmer, your breathing slows, and the energy in the home becomes more gentle and centered. This practice naturally leads to another Japanese secret: the philosophy of mottainai, which teaches respect for resources and appreciation for what you already have. Mottainai means avoiding waste, not just of objects, but of time, attention, and emotional energy. When applied to your home, this principle invites you to use what you have fully. Instead of buying new containers, you repurpose boxes. Instead of replacing old furniture, you restore it. Instead of letting food go to waste, you use every piece carefully. This reduces clutter, saves money, and creates a sense of stewardship that brings harmony to the home. It also shifts your mindset toward gratitude, which is a foundational element of Japanese serenity. When you are grateful for what you have, you naturally treat your home with more care and attention. From this mindset emerges another Japanese habit that keeps homes beautiful effortlessly: the daily sweep. While many people clean only when they have time, Japanese households practice a quick daily sweep, sometimes literally sweeping the floor, and sometimes symbolically sweeping the spaces of the day. This sweep clears dust, crumbs, and physical clutter, but it also clears stagnant energy. It is a ritual of renewal. Just a few minutes of daily sweeping maintain a level of order that would otherwise require hours of sporadic cleaning. The home feels fresher, the air feels lighter, and surfaces stay consistently clean. But the sweep is more than maintenance. It creates momentum. When you see your home consistently clean, you feel motivated to keep it that way. It reinforces habits of care and attention without stress or pressure. And this leads naturally to another Japanese secret: the power of gentle routines. Japanese homes run on routines that feel intuitive, not forced. Morning routines that set the tone, evening routines that close the day gently, midday routines that bring clarity and flow. These routines are not rigid schedules. They are streams of small habits: opening windows each morning, wiping surfaces after use, preparing the home for rest before bedtime. Gentle routines remove decision fatigue. They create a predictable rhythm that reduces stress and preserves emotional energy. And when routines run smoothly, the home carries a sense of harmony that feels effortless. Yet there is one final Japanese secret that deepens all the others and elevates your home to a level of beauty that touches the heart: the practice of creating emotional anchors. An emotional anchor is a small, consistent moment in your home that brings comfort, meaning, or calm. It could be the way you light a candle at night, the spot where you drink your morning tea, a corner where you keep your favorite book, or the single object you choose as your daily point of beauty. These anchors give your home a heartbeat. They remind you of what matters. They create a sense of belonging that cannot be bought. And when your home contains emotional anchors, harmony becomes more than appearance. It becomes feeling. But there is still one last Japanese secret, and it brings together every idea from all the previous parts. It is the secret of intentional living, and it will guide you toward a home and a life filled with clarity, beauty, and inner peace. Intentional living is the final Japanese secret, and it is the thread that ties all the other habits together into a home that feels beautiful, harmonious, and emotionally grounding. Intentional living means that every action, every choice, and every habit inside your home is guided by clarity instead of impulse. It means you do not live on autopilot. You do not accumulate without awareness. You do not move through your home disconnected from what surrounds you. Instead, you pause, you choose, you observe, and you act with purpose. This is the heart of Japanese minimalism, not empty rooms or strict rules, but a lifestyle shaped by meaning. When you embrace intentional living, your home begins to reflect your inner world. You stop decorating for others and start creating an environment that supports who you want to become. You stop buying out of stress or distraction and start valuing what you already have. You stop rushing through tasks and begin to experience small rituals as sources of peace. Intentional living is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about choosing what matters and releasing what drains you. It is about shaping a home that functions as a sanctuary instead of a storage unit. When you look at all the Japanese secrets we explored, seasonal resets, mindful transitions, daily points of beauty, microzones, the principle of subtraction, purposeful pauses, motainai, daily sweeps, gentle routines, emotional anchors, you will notice that each one is small, practical, and gentle. None of them require money. None require dramatic changes. They rely on consistency, awareness, and quiet intention. When practiced together, these habits create a home that feels alive, balanced, and deeply comforting. And perhaps the most beautiful part of Japanese harmony is that it transforms not just the home, but also the person who lives inside it. When your surroundings become peaceful, your thoughts soften. When your home supports your well-being, you feel lighter. When your environment is intentional, your decisions become clearer. A harmonious home does not just look beautiful, it changes how you move, think, breathe, and rest. It becomes a silent companion in your healing, a supportive partner in your journey, a gentle reminder that peace is something you build, one small habit at a time. As we close this journey through the 7 Japanese secrets to keep your home beautiful and harmonious, I want to remind you that transformation doesn't happen all at once. It happens moment by moment, habit by habit, day by day. Start small. Choose one habit. Practice it for a week, then add another. Your home will begin to change. And as it does, you will change with it. If this video inspired you, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and share it with someone who deserves a peaceful home. Your support helps this channel grow and reach more people who are searching for inner peace, beauty, and harmony in their everyday lives. And I would love to hear in the comments which Japanese secret spoke to your heart the most. Thank you for being here, and remember, your home is a reflection of your soul. Treat it with love, and it will love you back.